So our business is pageantprofessors.com, and it is a site that's dedicated to educating and encouraging young women to get involved in pageantry, and then we provide them with the tools so that they can be successful when they do get into pageantry.
Yeah, and more specifically, I like to think of it as, a letter to our former selves. We really try to use our anecdotes and everything we've learned along the way to kind of just share those lessons to our viewers and our subscribers and to everyone that is, a pageant fan.
Agreed. Yeah, pageantry is such it's a huge hobby for a lot of women, but it's also extremely expensive, and it's not as intuitive as one would think. I mean, the pageant secrets, if you will, are not things that you go into automatically knowing or assuming that this is how it works. So rather than the trial and error type of setup, which is what normally happens, is you compete, you realize that gown was terrible, you go back and compete again, and we're hoping to cut that out right from the beginning and give the women and the girls tools right from the start to get it right.
I got my undergrad degree in accounting, and I later got my MBA in marketing. And so I won my first state title in 2009, the year that I also got my MBA. So, owning my own company is really the best of both worlds. It really allows me to flex my business muscles, but also really allows me to kind of keep my foot in an industry that I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, so I got my undergrad in political science. And my background, especially in DC, is politics. So I work for a biotech company in government affairs, and I've worked on campaigns, and really politics is a huge passion of mine. So that's where mine was. But I got started in pageantry actually when I was 16, and so it's been something that I've been involved in ever since.
We're actually title holders in the same system, and so I think we're extremely excited to not only have this venture together, but to also be able to compete with each other. I think
against each other,
and against each other. But I'm really looking forward to having Priya there with me when we're at pageant week. I think that there's no better way to spend your week, competing with other girls, but also having that opportunity to spend with your best friend also. Definitely launched the business and then built the community around it. We had our connections in Maryland because we were all Maryland competitors. I'm a title holder in Delaware, so I kind of had a little niche there. Creative in DC, but we're really excited about the number of subscribers and followers that we do have that have just love the quality of the product that we have and are just so grateful for the valuable information that we provide them for free.
I think the biggest thing is that there's not really anything like what we're doing out there. So there is a pageant community that exists, but now we're really kind of transforming that and rallying them around something that's innovative and unique, but can benefit the community as a whole, because it's not just pageant contestants. There are designers, there are pageant directors, industries that have products that could be utilized and benefit from the pageant world knowing about them. So we're really also bridging all of those gaps and really bringing people together by highlighting, new designers that maybe haven't gotten into pageant gowns but like to get there. We're able to introduce them to the community that we've created in our building.
We have two friends of ours, Adam Smiskey and Will Hamilton, who have their own website, and it's a great company called FuzzyYellowBalls.com, and it's a tennis instruction website. And as funny as the name is, they really have some great content, and their site is just fantastic. It's something that we do look up to, and they've just been so invaluable in giving us the resources and the opportunity to do something very similar but for pageantry.
Yeah, when we first got started, we were able to use their studio to film. They really kind of showed us the ropes in terms of not just creating a business, but also really introducing us to the serious marketing side of it. And so that's something that at least I wasn't, you know, you have a great idea and you go out there and you think just putting it on Facebook and Twitter and talking about it is enough. But obviously there are tools available and, you know, search engine optimization and all of these other things that are involved in making a business successful that they've really helped, I think, guide us in that.
Definitely, and I think they've also changed our perspective on the other people that are in the industry. They continue to tell us that people are not our competition, but really they're opportunities for collaboration, and that's why, you know, we said in our YFE chat that collaboration is going to be one of our top resolutions, and, you know, we think that it's really going to be a great opportunity to not only promote ourselves, but promote others in the industry, because it is such a small community. There have been a couple. I mean, I think that in a business sense, being 28 and an entrepreneur and owning your own company is a great thing. But, you know, in pageantry, your age is a big consideration. And, you know, by 28, there are very few pageant systems that cater to women in their late 20s. And so there's a term that you age out, you know, by 24 or even 26. So
makes you feel old fast.
It does. And so, you know, I think that getting over that stigma of being kind of an old pageant girl is a challenge, but something that we're clearly overcoming because we have, you know, great supporters who are, you know, excited about our titles and the work that we're doing in the community.
From a business sense, too, I think just as it can be beneficial to, you know, get attention for being so young and starting this company, there's also kind of a lot of people, especially those who are involved in pageantry or don't know someone that's involved in pageantry, don't really get it. I mean, they think very much like Miss Congeniality or what pop culture is put out there. So when you combine being young, being a woman, and having your focus be pageantry, it's almost like this triple whammy of things that, you know, is a little harder to get people to take seriously. Not impossible, as I think we're showing, but, you know, it takes a little more to get them to look seriously, not just at what we're doing, but the business model and the strategy behind it all.
Yeah, and, you know, fortunately and unfortunately, there's a lot of press about pageants because of, you know, shows like Toddlers and Tiaras.
Right.
So, you know, while we get, you know, press about pageantry from those avenues, that's also something that we have to overcome because, you know, obviously we're catering to teens and young women, not, you know, 3- and 4-year-olds.
Yeah, shows like Toddlers and Tiaras, I think, definitely polarize the population where people are just, they think it's terrible. How could you do this to your little girls? And other people think it's adorable. What they don't realize is, you know, I think being involved in pageants, even just competing once or twice, you get some serious life skills. I mean, the things that you learn in pageantry, even if you decide not to continue to compete, I think there are things like public speaking, you know, learning to be confident and how to interview on the spot, those kinds of things you can take with you down the line and into careers and the rest of your life. So getting people to see that part of it is difficult, but I think we're doing a good job. I'd say just go for it.
Yeah.
You can research forever. I mean, there's, you know, you'll never feel like you're 100% ready. I don't think we were ever.
No, and I mean, it's a constant learning process, and you're never going to get it right the first time. So as long as you put something out there, you get some feedback from the people that are listening to you and that are following you, I think that that's the only way that you can tell whether or not it's something that you should continue and, you know, how you can make it better.
Yeah, I think learning along the way is key. I mean, even just months later, we go back and we look at our videos and we recognize things that we can do differently to improve on them. So, and I don't think that that's ever going to stop. I mean, as you said, fuzzyyellowballs.com, huge mentor source, and they'll say the same thing. I mean, they've been up and running for 5 years, and, you know, every time they film content, 3 months later, they're just like, we could do this better, we could do that better. So it's an evolution, and I think just jumping right in, going for it, is huge. I think the other thing that we were concerned about was, you know, we thought we had this great idea and we wanted to launch it when it was perfect and ready, because we didn't want anybody else to know about it and steal the idea or, you know, whatever. You almost want to be like I said, you want to launch as soon as you've got all your ducks in a row, and that doesn't really always happen. So just go in there, don't worry about the competition, see others as not competitors, but opportunities for, for collaboration.
I think one day we had met up for brunch, and we literally spent 5 hours in the restaurant talking about pageants. And we did this every weekend, and it just had gotten to a point where we were thinking, you know what? We do this. We just need to go for it. I mean, we just spent 5 hours of our day talking about pageants, so it's valuable for us as a learning experience to just learn more about each other. And so, I'm sure that there's an audience out there somewhere that is also sitting around a table at brunch with their pageant girlfriends for 4 hours talking about how they can improve.
Yeah, no, and I've had beautiful girls and women come up to me and say, really like to compete. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to get started. It's a lot of money. How do I do this? And so that's when I think we started thinking on a larger scale of, sure, we can help this girl out and give her the knowledge to go forward, but how do we reach a more broad audience? And so that was the key, was let's do this and let's help other girls have some of the great experiences that we did. I mean, if it wasn't for pageantry, I would have never met Nicole and the other women involved. And even the relationships that you create while competing, I think are huge benefits.
Yeah, and I love knowing that our audience isn't restricted to girls that compete in pageants. I get friends that are not in pageants. My boyfriend's sister who asks me for makeup and hair advice. Anyone that I meet in the store. I had a funny story about going to Bed Bath & Beyond over the Christmas holiday, and the woman that was at the cashier was like, how did you get your hair so voluminous, and how do you do the curls? And so I gave her this 5-minute tutorial in the line of the Bed Bath & Beyond, and I gave her the website, and hopefully she's a follower, because there are a lot of beauty tips and things like that that are not specific to pageant girls, but any woman.
I think it is, and I actually just recently finished my undergrad. I started back when I was 18 and took some time off to really figure out my direction. I mean, I think I had every major under the sun initially, and then took some time to figure out where my passion was. But in the end, I did think it was important to go back and complete it. Not so much just the education and knowledge that you get from the university or school that you're at, but also I think it shows something about your character, that you're able to dedicate yourself to something and see it through. So I think it's more a testament to your ability to complete projects.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't have said it better. I have an undergraduate degree and my MBA, and getting my MBA was a second opportunity for me to really learn more about myself and what I really wanted to do. I kind of was, I wouldn't say forced, but accounting was definitely not my first field that I really saw myself succeeding in. And so after 3 years of working, I really wanted to pursue something that I was really much more interested in, and marketing and communications is such a better fit for me.
I don't think we're ever not working. It's so sad to say, but it's like, if we're working out, or if we're shopping, or if we're, I was at the ice skating rink the other day and saw a girl whose styling I loved and thought it would be great for it's so hard to, I think, turn your mind off. I feel like everything I do and I see now, I automatically relate back to our business, or how we can use that to to some way improve what we're doing online.
I completely agree. Everything I see, everyone I meet, I see as another opportunity to, like we said, collaborate or team up with, or include on the website somehow.
Yeah, I think a great example is play tennis, and we're out there playing tennis one day, and I was like, this is a great workout. We should create a tennis workout for pageant girls who don't want to go to the gym but still need to tone up for this is perfect. So I think it's examples like that of we have hobbies and try to do them, but somehow they always come back full circle to pageant classes. I think make sure you're on the same page everybody has, different niches and things that they're great at. So I think when you're looking for a partner, finding someone that complements your style, you don't have to be exactly the same and agree on everything. It's almost better if you don't, because then the constant back and forth, I think, works to improve the business overall. But someone that I think you have a lot of respect for and have a good enough friendship that you can also be candid and speak openly about the business, and I think that that's great. I mean, I have so much respect for Nicole, and I love working with her, and it's great when we, but it's easy to say, no, we're not going to do that. That's a bad idea. And know that our friendship is strong enough that we can do that, and for the betterment of pageant professors.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that positivity and like you said, being on the same page, having the same dream, being a dreamer, and being able to think big. I knew that Priya and I were destined to be best friends. We were attending this pageant, and one of the common questions that is usually asked, or that was asked that evening, was if you could be on the cover of any magazine, what would it be? And without hesitation, we looked at each other and said, Forbes magazine. And it was just like one of those, completely in sync. And it was just one of those moments where you just really appreciated that they were by your side and that you really had the same goals to just, be the best you could be and just help one another succeed.
Yeah, working towards those mutual goals together. When you have the same dream, it's so easy to throw yourself into it because you both want the same thing so badly. So it keeps us on the same page, and it keeps us, it's easy to kind of want to slack or get tired, and I think we're great at motivating each other. I mean, Nicole's like, Pretty, you have to fill out this application right now. You have to do it. keeps me on point, and I think I do the same to her. We really make sure to balance each other out.
Yeah, and because we're both workaholics, I know that I can call Prita at 12:30 at night and know that she's in the same exact position where I am, like at my laptop, at my desk, working on pageant professors.